With us now is Ashleigh Larkin. She's the head of the school for Oakland Early College. I love this program. How are you doing? Thank you for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
For those not familiar with the program, fill us in on what it is and how it operates.
I will first start by saying that I am the new head of school. I officially actually start on Monday.
Oh my goodness. Well, congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. So Jennifer Newman is the current head of school for one last day, and she has done such amazing things there. So huge shoes to fill. So I did have to mention her because she's done wonderful things there. So I'm definitely still learning the whole process, but the beauty of Oakland Early College, and one of the reasons why I was really drawn to it, is because it gives students an opportunity to prepare for college courses before they even take that next step to potentially apply to a university if that's something that they'd like to do. So the students at Oakland Early College are dual enrolled students, and they take high school courses simultaneously with college classes.
That is, what a gift for these kids. I don't think they realize that. But and their parents, I would think, appreciate it as well, because there's no additional college tuition that they have to pay, right?
Absolutely. So they can earn up to an associate's degree for free. So it's really a great opportunity for students, not only to potentially earn that and to earn transferable credits, but also to really understand the college world before they may even transfer to a university.
Well, and I know one of the things with this program is trying to just do that, allow that student to engage in the college experience. However, this year is a little bit different. How is that working for the students that are currently enrolled in the program?
It is definitely different. We're all navigating those challenges. OCC did decide to go fully virtual this semester, and they have done the same for next semester. So they will remain fully virtual throughout the rest of our high school year. We're not sure yet about summer classes.
So for the students that are currently enrolled, what are the qualifications and how do you pick them?
So students that are interested in OEC, it is a process to get to be a student at OEC, which is part of the beauty and the magic, because we're very big on culture and community at OEC. And so, we have to make sure that it's going to be the right fit. So in terms of standards overall, we typically select students that have a GPA of 2.0 to 4.0 range or higher. It's a student that wants to give back to their community. So service is a big piece of Oakland Early College, people that want to be contributors and really be good people. So that would definitely be something we'd be looking for. In order to start the process, a student would call Oakland Early College and they would set up a family meeting with the head of school. We have a 1-hour family meeting. From there, the student would then submit an application if they're interested. And they would also, in normal times, be able to shadow a student at Oakland Early College to get a feel for what it looks like. And then from there, they have a 1-hour interview with myself, the counselor there, and students. And then it's determined whether they'd be selected for the program or not.
Do they have to be seniors in order to enroll?
They do not. So we have started taking students as early as 9th grade. However, if you are a 9th grade student coming in, you have to have taken Algebra 1 in 8th grade, which is typically a high school required class.
So how is that working now, Ashleigh, especially when it comes to that community aspect? Because we're also in the middle of a pandemic and being told not to be around other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really been difficult. Oakland Early College was very fortunate in the fact that not, me coming in, I won't see it right now, but they were hybrid. So they actually had 2 groups of students that were in person 2 days each week. And so they were able to take on some of that community feel. I participated with them in a 5K walk that they did in the trail behind OEC. They've collected donations for different charitable organizations this year. So they were able to keep that feel even during the hybrid time. Now shifting to being fully virtual, I've had, several ideas. I'm going to coordinate with the staff about ways that we can keep up that feel virtually, whether it's virtual board games or, virtual movie night with the school or different charitable giving things that we can do. So there is a lot we can do. It is harder, but there are still many things we can do to keep that feel.
So when the students are enrolled in classes at the community college, does anyone know that they are a high school student, or they're just there like any other regular student?
They are there like any other student. If a professor asks them, Miss Newman would always say you should share that you're a high school student, but typically they don't, and they blend right in with the culture. And that's a really important piece of selecting students for the program, right? Is making sure that they will be able to immerse themselves in that college culture.
Ashleigh Larkin with us here on the Oakland County MegaCast. As of Monday, she will be the new head of school for the Oakland Early College program. I would imagine they have to be a current student within the West Bloomfield School District.
They do not.
No.
We actually have students from all different areas in Oakland County that can apply.
So can they apply even if they maybe go to a private school as well?
They could. Mm-hmm.
So with that, how many students do you pick each semester? Is it competitive to try to get in?
So that is something that I would be learning, I'll be honest with you, because I just actually sat in on my first family meeting and interview yesterday. I do know that it is a competitive program. There are currently about 180 students enrolled, and typically there's 40 to 50 students per grade level at a time.
Well, for someone that just started the job, you have the numbers down, though.
I had to do a lot of research. It was a long interview process.
Oh, well, that's so great. With this, too, what classes are the students typically taking?
So the students would have to take all classes that are required to meet Michigan high school graduation requirements. So all of the 18 Michigan merit credits. And then we really focus on what their potential career pathway or what their interests are. And then they would be able to select courses based on that.
So there is a big push right now in the state of Michigan to try to get students into some or more of the trades. And a lot of the community colleges do focus on some of those programs as well. Do you see any students trying to take advantage in that route?
I'm really trying to get to know the students individually and figure out what their next steps are. But OCC offers wonderful programs that are geared towards trade careers and different professions that require an associate's degree. And so that's definitely something that I know students are taking advantage of.
So we know you're new to the job and new to the position, but in some of the conversations you're having with the students, are you hearing from any of them about the possibility of maybe taking a gap year or staying closer to home and taking advantage of the community college?
I think that's definitely becoming a trend, for students in the state of Michigan and really across the nation. You're seeing more students take a gap year to really figure out what they want to do. The cost of college, it's rising and it's become very expensive. And so I always tell students, you really, while you can explore, you want to make sure that, you're working towards something that you actually want to do, because you're going to be shelling out a lot of money in order to get that piece of paper for you to do that. So
yeah, I will say the amount of a college education right now, it seems to me it's skyrocketed, and it is so high that unfortunately a lot of kids too aren't making it through. They maybe don't graduate and don't finish, but then they're left with this huge debt that they still have to pay off, and then they didn't even get a degree. Mm-hmm. So this is a great program to help them and to help their parents as well, because these can be tough financial times for families.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I think it's a wonderful program. Again, I really go back to the culture and community there is just fantastic. And then you get this bonus of, fulfilling so many gen ed requirements that you might have to take that can transfer or getting an associate's degree. So it's a really unique opportunity for students.
Yeah, and on top of that, I think the community colleges are getting a lot better about having some of these classes that are transferable. So
Mhm.
it does make it easier, because I think sometimes we forget higher education is also a business. It would be frustrating for me. I remember transferring, and they would take like your English 201, but not the 101. Some of these little things, and you'd have to retake them if you were transferring. So it's great to see that there is a program like this, and the high school kids can take advantage of that. But do you worry about some of the students currently missing out on that college experience because the classes are remote? So it must seem like for them it's almost like high school, because high school is remote right now as well.
Yeah. No, I can definitely understand that. I think that though, so many different classes at universities are becoming hybrid or fully online. And so for those classes, I actually think it's good preparation. Obviously, I think all of us would prefer to be back in person. It's just a different feel. You build different connections and get different support. But I do think that there's a lot of learning that can occur in being fully virtual, especially the piece of really being self-motivated and having to plan your own schedule and make sure that you're keeping up with everything in the course. So I think it's only pushing them a little bit further to strive for excellence and to do the best that they can do.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest adjustments when you go to college from a high school is that managing your time, because the coursework can be a little bit tougher than high school sometimes as well. And plus, typically too, when you're in college, it's easily distracted from so many other things going on. But this is still such a great opportunity for the students. Before we let you go, since you're new to the district, new to the position, do you want to give us a little bit about your background?
Sure. So I actually have been in West Bloomfield School District my entire career. I am, for one more day, the assistant principal at West Bloomfield High School. It has been an absolutely amazing journey. I love the students, staff, and parents and community at West Bloomfield High School. I really was just ready for the next step in my career, and the thought of going to a new school and becoming head of school in a building that really focuses on college culture and community ties directly to my professional goals in what I believe in. And so I was really excited about that. So as I interviewed, I just became more and more excited about Oakland Early College, and I can't wait to get started with the students and staff there.
It is a great program. With that, what's it been like for you at the high school during this time?
Yeah, it's been challenging. I'm not going to lie. We're doing the absolute best we can to support our students and staff. We miss everybody terribly. I will say transitioning without being able to see people has been really difficult. I will miss them so much. So, we're absolutely doing the best that we can. Our teachers have been amazing, taking on extra trainings in terms of technology and figuring out different programs that they can utilize. So, we're all in this together. We are, like I said, everyone is doing the absolute best that they can. We're working to support, and we hope to get students back in the building as soon as possible.
Oh, won't that be nice? Because definitely so many of them lost out on that high school experience last year, and it looks like they're probably going to suffer that again this year as well. But with that, I think when the schools closed down last March, at least the teachers did already have a relationship with those students. What's it been like for the teachers and the students this semester coming in? Because it's different meeting them in person and then going virtual, but now it's all virtual.
It is. And that was one of our stressors for sure when we started the school year, was that we haven't built relationships with this group of students yet, especially our incoming freshmen. And so some of the things that we're doing, we are doing things we may not normally in an environment when kids are in the building. So things like, not giving homework over breaks, having connection days where instead of just going through content, they're playing a game with their teacher. They're doing getting to know you activities. A lot of that work takes place at the beginning of the year when we're in person, but because we're not seeing them, it's happening throughout the year. And so our teachers have really done a great job in trying to connect individually with students and get to know them better. And we're doing a lot of different school activities through our student leadership group, who's been doing such a great job to make sure that students still feel connected to school.
Well, since you'll be working with students that are focused on college, what is the plan and the discussion around those yearly tests, the ACT, the SAT? How is that working right now?
So our students were fortunate. We were able to bring them in the fall if they missed the test from last year to take SAT and PSAT. We don't know yet what it's going to look like. Typically, we test students in April. So we're still waiting for guidance from the Michigan Department of Education on what that's going to look like. But as long as it's safe to bring students into the building and Michigan Department of Ed says we're still testing in April, we will absolutely have the option available for students. Students are also able to sign up on their own to take tests on Saturday, but I know that has been really tricky for kids. There have been a lot of locations that have shut down, that are not offering the test, even though they say they are. And so it's been a little bit difficult. But I do think that, ultimately the universities have been great. A lot of them are going test optional or flexible. And so I know everyone's doing everything they can to support students.
Well, as a student, I would think that last option is a good one if they can get out of actually taking it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It was a stressor for me 20 years ago. So, and I think the kids now are under more pressure than even we were to try to get the highest score possible.
Yes, standards have, gone higher every year. And it's very competitive, and they do have a lot more pressure academically, socially, than I think we did in the past. So there is a lot that they have to go through.
Ashleigh Larkin with us here on the Oakland County MegaCast. Before we let you go, anything that we didn't touch on that you maybe want to share with the listeners and the viewers?
I think we covered a lot of it. I'm very excited to learn more about OAC as I immerse myself in the culture there. I do just want to say to my West Bloomfield High School community, I will miss you greatly, but the good news is I'm right down the road, so I will still be around. And I'm really looking forward to this new challenge and to getting to know the OAC family.
Well, we wish you the best of luck in your new position. Quickly though, Ashleigh, before we let you go, how can parents and students find out more about this program?
In order to find out more about the program, you can go to the website. So the district website has a tab for Oakland Early College that you can find. And then there also is a direct site to Oakland Early College. So I think probably the easiest way for families is if you just Google Oakland Early College, it will be one of the first links to pop up.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. And thank you for having the courage to do an interview for a position you haven't even officially started yet. You were great. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on.